I love the combination of synths and acoustic drums. Sadly, as I live in an apartment and cannot afford a good electronic drum, I have to use plugins. Most of the time I use the SSD sampler, I'm very used to it, but I'm also always looking for new sounds. So when Modalics released MINDst drums, I knew I had to try them. For this review, I'll be concentrating on the expressiveness, the variety of sounds, and the extra features. Not only that, to really test this plugin to its limits, I'm going to actually replace the drums of a released song and will mix MINDst drums on it. So to test expressiveness, we need to take into account how human it can sound. And for me, the most important part of that is the softness or the hardness of the hits. Every decent drum plugin will implement this feature by recording different samples of different hits depending on the velocity. The lower the velocity, the softer the hit. At first glance we have a lot of velocity layers, and they transition good from one to the other, so it feels natural. But of course, to test this properly, we need to create some grooves. First of all, a very expressive and dynamic groove from a really famous song. The snare is doing its job, the ghost notes sound really good. The other way I want to try this is by making a big snare roll. Sounds great, a lot of expression and different dynamics. One impression though is that the rim shot sounds really different from the regular snare. Sometimes it can be an issue in terms of processing, as the two sounds, even if they are different, are coming from the same track. But here on this specific scenario is working really nice. Now let's make something with a lot of cymbals and toms. Sounds great, the toms feel really natural and I quite like the sound. Now, one small detail that I loved about these drums is that it has a stack cymbal, something rare on the drum plugin world. It's very simple, but I don't know, I find it so fun to use. Also, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to support my content and get some free presets and sounds, consider becoming a patron or a member. Thank you in advance. So, this kit was made by sampling the drums of Zoron Giat. He's a great drummer and has a unique kit. They even recorded some of his own custom cymbals. And as you can see, the cymbals are what make this kit special. You have your regular kick and snare, 3 toms, the standard hi-hat, 2 crashes and a ride. But on the special side, we have a flat ride that sounds different, this crash with holes in it, the already mentioned stack, and a small splash. Now in terms of variety of hits and sounds you can get out of these drums, we have a wide diversity. For instance, we have the standard hit for everything, but we also have rolls. The sound quality is great, especially on the unique cymbals. Now, different from other drum plugins, this is the only kit this one has. But the sound is versatile enough to be used on many kinds of music. And also, despite being just one kit, you can actually edit each one of the sounds. For instance, you can change the envelope, the tuning, on a kick drum you can edit the sub-synth, and on the snare you can actually choose where you are hitting it. So you have some freedom to craft your own sound. Not only that, it has a mixer with different groups, effects like compression, distortion, studio and play reverbs, and a parametric EQ per mic or group. Of course, if you add your own processing, it can adapt easier to heavy or softer sounds. Not only that, you can even set specific values for how much bleeding of a sound will appear on another mic. I don't know if that's going to make any difference, but it's attention to detail. So let's go now to test it in a real song. This song has been released already, it's called Looping Identity, and I'll leave a link in the description so you can listen to it. The idea is not only to use MINDst drums, but also actually mix them so they feel part of the song. So I'll do that really quick and then I'm going to explain my processing. I basically did my standard processing for smashing drums. That is 1176 tight compression on the snare, with an EQ to make it brighter, a machine just as a clipper. The toms and the kick have smiley face EQs, and I'm also taking away out of resonances. For the kicks I like to use a little bit of a distressor kind of compressor, and I brighten up a little bit of the overhead. I found the crash to be a bit dark for this song in particular. Lastly, I'm using a room reverb, I'm cutting the low end on it, and I'm sending the snare, toms, and a bit of the overheads. So this is the result. this was the original song. And again, these are MINDst drums. This is a very nice kit. The sound is great, and of course, if you add your own effects and processing, it's going to adapt easier to any song. But of course, what's important is your opinion, so let me know in the comments what do you think about this plugin, and also which drum plugins you actually use. Thank you so much for watching, I will see you next time, and bye bye!